wanna say I'm full of myself a room, but you ain't looking at no other dudes, cause you love me. I'm sorry, buddy.
Hello, it's Wendy, and this is Can She DIY It, a series where I try to make something and I'll show you the steps along the way so that you can make it too. Hopefully both of us succeed. Today's challenge is this Anello backpack. There seems to be quite a few shapes and sizes, obviously a ton of color options, and the appeal from what I gather is that the way the zipper opens at the top, it can hold a whole bunch of stuff. I've been seeing this backpack everywhere. I saw it a ton when I was traveling in Asia, and so I'm going to merge this backpack with my own desire for a low-hanging mini backpack that also can convert into a crossbody. I'm not quite sure why I do this to myself. Like, I'm pretty sure just making the backpack would be hard enough, but I'm gonna add some loops and hooks to it and see if we can get this like fully convertible thing going on. Let us begin. I have half a yard of fabric, 4 yards of yellow faux leather strap, 2 zippers, one is 8 inches and one is 14 inches, 4 silver hooks, 2 silver sliders, 3 D-rings, and 2 triangle rings. Oh, and also fusible interfacing. I had half a yard and got a pretty stiff option. If you want to see the process I went through to buy all of these things, go watch my July Shop With Me video because this took multiple trips up and down the same street to get everything aligned, and I got to get my own custom zippers made for the first time. Now these are the pieces I cut out of the fabric. There's 2 24 by 24 centimeter squares, that's going to be the front and the back, 3 24 by 17 centimeter squares, that's the bottom and the 2 sides, and I have a little 4 by 29 centimeter strip plus a 10 by 29 centimeter piece for the front pocket. All of these items and steps are listed in a blog post in the description. I only wanted to stiffen the front, back, and bottom of the bag, so I cut those 3 matching pieces out of interfacing and ironed them to the fabric. Let's start with the pocket. I sewed the zipper to the small top strip, right sides together with a straight stitch. Once that stitch is done, I flipped it open and added another straight stitch to hold the fold in place. Next, I sewed the zipper right sides together to the bottom rectangle with a straight stitch. Flipped that open and added a straight stitch to hold that fold. It looked like I really overestimated how much fabric was needed. I went ahead and cut off about 1.5 centimeters on both sides. To get this pocket poppin', I folded the corners and pinned them. And then I drew a line that was 2.5 centimeters long with a pencil. This is the line that I sewed along to form corners. If any of this is looking familiar, it's probably because you've seen my Fjallraven Konken DIY backpack. Things do get different immediately after this step. I pinned the pocket to the center and lower half of the stiff square. If you open it, you can see where the pins are, but I closed it regularly to make sure that the back could lie flat. I sewed along these pins on the inside with a straight stitch. For the sides, there was no visible stitching on the Anello bag, so I hand sewed the pockets. I used pins to fix a fold in place. This just helps things to stay nice and straight. And then I used the good old needle and thread. Okay, the pockets are finished. I could tie the threads and cut them off. Now the rest of the bag can start taking shape. I sewed the front to the bottom piece right sides together, and then I sewed on the back right sides together. The interfacing I used was quite stiff, so I remembered something I had recently seen in a Dior bag video where they hammered the edges to make them sharp. This was a huge success. With the small handles, I eyeballed a length that seemed balanced for the bag proportions and ended up cutting 2 pieces that were 35 centimeters long. These I folded in half along the midsection and sewed with a straight stitch, and then I tied off the threads on the inside so that they would be hidden. I curved these along the top of the front until I liked where they were, and then I marked with a pencil. My bottom corners were about 6 centimeters from the sides and 8.5 centimeters from the top. I sewed these in place with a square-shaped stitch, but if you want to be true to Anello, you should also add an X in the middle. For me, I was just worried it would look too busy. We're going back to the strap material. I cut 5 strips that were 5 centimeters long and folded these in half with all the D and triangle rings. I used a straight stitch to seal these up. Each of these were attached to the back of the bag. I had the D rings in the top middle and 2 sides, and the 2 triangle rings hidden under the straps. This gives enough options for a crossbody and backpack. I guess the top middle one might not have been totally necessary, but I am happy with having it there. To close up the sides, I pinned the side pieces right sides together to the existing bag, planning to sew it with a straight stitch. With all bags, however, it seems we reach a point where we literally wrestle it through the sewing machine, and this was the moment. Whatever maneuvering tricks you have, pull them all out, do not hold back, and hopefully you will make it to the other end. After much sweat and pleading that everyone would cooperate, I made it time to flip the whole bag to see what we get. I pushed out all the corners and I used that hammer trick again to sharpen the edges that had interfacing. This hammer thing, I'm very into it. It's super effective. The top of Anello bags features one long zipper that opens it up. So I pinned this right sides together to one side, sewed it, and then the other, and sewed it with a straight stitch. I didn't go all the way to the ends since that would mess with how the zipper operates. Make sure you leave about 5 centimeters unsewn fabric on the 2 ends. Later, I also sewed a little square of the strap material to the 2 zipper ends to make it look a little bit nicer, and I trimmed as much excess fabric as possible from the opening so that the zipper could glide uninterrupted. The bag is done, and all we have left is the straps. My straps were 115 centimeters long, and here's how they were assembled. First, add the slider, then add a hook, and then insert the strap back through the slider again, and sew this very last pass that I am pinching with a straight stitch into a loop that is secure around the middle of the slider. Once that was done, the slider was able to go up and down the strap to change its length. Success! I slid on a hook at the other open end and I folded the strap to sew a loop that held it in place. Clip these to the bag as you please because it is finished. Let's take this outside for a spin. Ta-da! I'm so happy with how it turned out. Right now I have it in the backpack configuration. If you've never seen my Instagram, I will be posting more photos of me styling this bag in different ways. If you decide to make this backpack or any of my projects, use the hashtag #MadeWithWendy so I can find it. Making videos is fun, making these is fun, but seeing you make this yourself is so satisfying to me, and also I think it's a really fun project for you too. If you have not subscribed yet, don't forget to do that. Check out the links that are down below. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!